Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, what's up? This is Austin, who I'm sure you've met before. Via proxy?
I don't know. Probably.
I've mentioned him before. This is Austin, he's my roommate, he's also one of my oldest friends. And a suggestion had come up that, I'll put a screenshot of the suggestion here, that we talk about how we got into theater. It's going to be a long story, so get your popcorn. Let's do this. So, Austin.
Oh, well, sorry.
Wake the hell up.
Sorry.
So, Austin, tell me, first, what is it that you do in theater right now?
Currently, I am a theatrical master electrician.
Ooh.
So I do...
For the unwashed masses?
For the unwashed masses. I do electrician work. So I work with the lights. As a master electrician, you work directly with the lighting designer in order to make his vision a reality. Like, he has all the creative bits. Sure. And he's like, I want to do this. And you actually have to sit down and be like, the house can do this, and you can't do that. Don't even try. Occasionally, that comes up quite a bit.
Okay. So you're the person that actualizes the designs.
For the lighting, yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So how did you get into doing lighting like that?
I didn't get into lighting until about, I think it was sophomore or junior year of college.
Where'd you go to college, by the way?
University of California, Irvine.
Solidarity for the people who go to UCI.
Zot. But I was studying in a lighting class, and I figured this actually is really cool. Because up until then, I was an actor. But I quickly figured out that I shouldn't be an actor. For obvious vocational reasons. But I asked the professor, how can I get more into this? I started taking extra lighting classes. I was able to take graduate level lighting classes as an undergrad because they liked me. And I spent a lot of time volunteering for any production that was going on. It doesn't matter if you're not getting anything for it, you need the experience. Mm-hmm. So anytime you can, just hop on shows, help out how you can, and you actually learn quite a bit that way.
Okay. So you got your first taste of lighting during that portion, but before that you said you were an actor. Elaborate on that a little bit. How long have you been performing?
It goes all the way back to age 4. I've been acting since age 4, so I have been in theater my entire life. I'm told the story because I was too young to remember it, but I was at a Home Depot, and apparently there was a man with a limp. And apparently I decided to emulate him, because I found it fascinating.
Oh no.
I kind of mortified my parents, but they were like, hey, maybe he likes acting and stuff. And actually at a young age, I could read. Like at 4, I could read pretty well. And so I actually did, like, some commercials in Hollywood.
Hardcore.
Like, I actually did a Raisin Bran commercial. That was pretty cool.
2 scoops.
2 scoops. I almost got on a sitcom with Martin Short.
Really?
Like, I made it to the final string auditions to be his son in a sitcom, but I, like, washed out. I think it was because I didn't want to take off my Power Rangers ring. Like, straight up. At the time, I was like, I don't want to take off my Power Rangers ring. Why do you want me to take off my Power Rangers ring? And then I didn't get the part because I was uncooperative.
Well, I mean, the Power Rangers ring is an important thing.
It's very important.
You can't morph without that, right?
Not at all.
Seriously. Okay.
But from there, I did school productions, student things, and by the time I got into college, I had been in a little over 20 productions.
That's pretty impressive. So of the productions that you've been in, what's your favorite one that you've performed in?
One of my more recent ones was pretty fun, which was The Importance of Being Earnest. I got to play Dr. Chasuble, the old guy.
Hey.
Plus, it gave me an excuse to try out a high regal English accent, which I used at work all the time. It was great.
You still got any of that?
Not at this moment. I'm pretty tired. I gotta go. Later. But one show that has always stuck with me was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. If you ever work on that show, the color combination, you will never forget it. It burrows into your head. And then every once in a while, you're just like, it was red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn and lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve and cream and crimson and silver and rose and azure and lemon and rust and gray and purple and white and pink and orange and blue. It's like,
Holy shit.
it's a cool parlor trick to pull out that you can name like 30 colors in 7 seconds.
Well done.
But I have to be in that specific order.
So if I asked you to, like, name 30 colors but arrange them in the order that's
It
on
would
the
be-
hex scale.
It would be like me trying to do the alphabet backwards. I'd be like, Z, Y, X, W, V.
Well done, well done. Yeah, okay. So, those are the ones that you liked to perform in. What about ones that you liked to tech?
Recently, I was able to do a show called Noises Off, which is one of my favorite shows, because it's silly and wacky, and I got to be the master electrician for that show. It was kind of insane because we had it's a massive set that spins 360,
Ooh, wow.
because it's a play about a play. And so you get to spin the entire set and see what happens backstage during the second act.
Mm-hmm.
It was really fun, because in order to properly focus the lights, we had to rope them and pull them up and down stage because they were right above the set.
So if you let them down, they would crash into it and break?
Crash into the set, break some stuff. So we actually had to rope them back in order to fiddle with the lights. It was kind of hardcore.
Well done. Yeah, okay. So, where do you see yourself going with your theatrical profession?
Currently, I'm trying to get into more event work. Currently, the best gig I landed right now is I am going to be the master electrician for one of the haunted mazes at Universal Studios.
Mm.
And we have about 6 or 7 teams of like lighting designer, electricians, master electrician, and they're each given like one maze, and it's going to take us like a month to set this stuff up. I have to brush up on my power calculations, because
Sure.
that's pretty much all I'm going to be doing. Like derating Sako cable properly depending on length. Like I need to get the new copy of the NEC.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a lot of work on that.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping. Tomorrow I'm going to be meeting up with the lighting designer for that at the Mattel gig that I'm doing.
You heard it first here. Okay, well that's wonderful then. So say that I was someone who was completely new to theater and wanted to get into it. What would you tell me to do? What's your advice to people who are getting into the profession?
Well, most work it's who you know. In theater, it's all who you know. Like, the head professor of lighting design at UCI has admitted that like 90% of his work is through word of mouth. And that makes things difficult because it's all contacts. So unfortunately, if you wanted to get into the theater area, you gotta know somebody. But that doesn't mean that you can't show up to places and be like, you need help? Sometimes volunteering will help get your like foot in the door. But occasionally, I've been told it works that if you show up to some people's load-ins and just be like, do you need an extra pair of hands? And, just working, picking stuff up, putting stuff down, you kind of have to do a little bit of grunt work before you figure out who to talk to about what.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of necessity, I have done a lot of carpentry work because it's, how I have to sustain myself until I get into more lighting stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty good set of advice there. One last question. Suppose you could work on any show that you wanted, either as a performer or as a tech. What would the dream show be?
Okay, I know one as a performer. My dream role that I've always wanted is actually Iago
Iago
from Othello.
from Othello.
Yes, my dream role has always been Iago.
Mm-hmm.
As far as teching a show, I don't know. I've always kind of wanted to tech a rave. Seems
Those
fun.
Would be quite a bit of fun. Get like a MIDI controller, or get like a launch
Just
pad.
I
I
just
can
make
get
the
behind
lights do whatever I want.
Yeah, okay. So, remind us once again where your next job is going to be, that maze that you're doing?
Universal Studios.
Universal Studios, and when's it starting? When will they be able to see the results of your handiwork?
Probably tail end of September.
Hey, well, you heard it here. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an interview with my good friend Austin Strain. Thanks very much for coming and hanging out with us.
No problem.
We'll see you again at another time.